Hey guys, so I'm back to YouTube, and no, I'm not going to leave Twitch and I'm not going to stop doing live streams. However, before the pandemic, I had like the goal to do some YouTube content, and then during the pandemic, I actually started it, but then my life got turned upside down for a bunch of personal reasons. But also, in case you guys haven't noticed, I'm on a different setting, and I have been in a different setting for over 3 years now. I've moved to Spain, I'm living in Madrid right now, and I've been living here since 2022. And when we moved here, obviously, one of the rooms had to be for a sewing room. Because that was my main goal. It was to continue making content, continue making my cosplays, doing commissions, all of those things, you know. And I wanted to do a tour of this room, but life kept getting in the way. So now I'm doing this video before I actually disassemble this room, because we are moving again, but I really wanted to show you with a little more detail the space where I've been working for the past 3.5 years. Of course, if you guys usually see me on Twitch, you already know this space very, very well, but I wanted to leave here on YouTube a more permanent record of this room that allow me to grow up so much, both professionally and personally, over these past almost 4 years that I've been here. When you see this video, I'll probably already be disassembling this room, but I'm really, really sorry. Editing Panta should take a while. So let's talk a little bit about this room in particular. We live in an apartment, and the apartment has 2 bedrooms, and one is a suite. So it is the biggest bedroom, and it has a bathroom, which I'm not going to show you guys because it's basically storage area. Because the apartment has 2 bathrooms, so we left the bathroom attached to this room as storage area, basically, because we don't have any storage in the house. This apartment is terrible in that part. So yeah, so the biggest room was left to make our office space and sewing room, crafting room, atelier, whatever you want to call it. So one thing that I really, really wanted to have was an L. So basically, when I say an L, it's basically having 2 tables attached, which one is this, where I have my sewing machines, and the different one for cutting the fabrics, crafting, having things drying, painting, you know those things, so I wouldn't have to be constantly moving my sewing machines here and there like it happened back in Portugal. The L-shaped thingy ended up happening because we weren't able to sell one of the tables that we had back at home. So we brought it here, as well as the computer desk of my husband, and yeah, so we ended up building this L area right here. I had an idea. I really wanted to build like an island like you see on some kitchens nowadays. But if I would do that, the island thingy, I would no longer have space to build the cosplays on a dress form. So basically, yeah, that is how we organized the area. We set we divided the room in two. This area here is where we have like office, like the computer, the machines and everything, and the other area is where I have the ironing board and where I usually assemble the cosplays in the dress form. This room also has to double as a photography studio. Because one, I usually don't have that much time to do photo shoots, so I usually do them myself at home. And let's be honest, I'm a little bit lazy when it's about assembling backdrops, especially if I'm planning on shooting with a white backdrop. So basically my idea was that half of the wall would remain white. That way I wouldn't have to, worry about ironing and like putting up a white backdrop for me to take photos. And my photography studio usually is packed in a box, so I just take it out, and it's the same one that I used in Lisbon, and that I had some. I mean, I have a behind the scenes photo shoot with everything kind of assembled. Not everything, because that room was a little bit smaller than this one. Now, for storage, when we moved here and when I saw the room and we assembled the desk for the computer, we immediately saw which space we were going to have. So one thing that I knew for sure is that I wanted a sturdy table for the machines. And actually this IKEA option is quite nice because it already gives me storage, having like the drawer modules, one on each side, and I wouldn't have to have like two tables, it's just one single table. It's quite thick, it's quite sturdy, and I'm really happy with this system. Also, it's wide, but not like so big that I can't move here. We actually can fit and be both working here with our chairs, so we don't need to like have just one chair or bump up into each other, like it's perfect. And also, obviously, still IKEA is the best, like when it's about storage and options for crafters and for cosplayers. The Kallax system with the little cubes, we immediately knew from what we had back in Portugal, because there we had smaller cube options and then we ended up having to build on it, which means like we had to get more modules to make do with the needs of storage that we had at the time. And when I moved here, because I was going to do this full time, I was going to do cosplay full time, especially while I learned the language. What we decided was to buy a big 5x5 module of the Kallax system with the boxes. We didn't bring anything from Portugal besides the two desks that we have here. Everything else was bought here for this apartment in specific. With time, we ended up buying another Kallax unit of 4x1 because we needed a little bit more storage, because again, doing this full time means you end up ordering tools, materials, a bunch of things. So yeah. And also a new machine entered our lives here in the atelier, which was the Cricut. I started crafting with the Cricut as well, which means one more machine, more materials, more supplies, and everything was getting chaotic. So that's why we needed to do one more Kallax unit to organize everything. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit how I have it all organized, because also, meanwhile, I started studying fashion design and industrial patterning here. So basically, which means more art supplies, more materials, more stuff. So as you can see, basically this room had I was able to grow and have it grow and transform a little bit as I needed to do whatever I needed. So now I'm going to show you a little bit about like how I have everything organized, and we can see in a little bit more detail how I have things that work for me, of course. And have in mind, this is not a perfect system. I would rather have things differently. However, it's a rented apartment, so there's not much I can do. But this works perfectly for what I need. Welcome to this side of the room. It seems a little bit bigger than it actually is, but for me it has been working quite well. So it starts basically here where I have the table, and I go all the way here. So I have quite a big area of floor where I can cut the bigger pieces of fabric. Like I can isolate this area and have some prop paintings or sanding or whatever. And I know, before someone tells anything in the comments, I shouldn't be sanding indoors. However, I have no options, but I have big windows and I have respirators with filters, and am able to do everything safely and with precautions. This ironing board is always here. Those of you who've seen me on Twitch know that this board is always here. It only leaves if I really need the space, or if I need to do a photo shoot here. And this is the white wall that I was telling you about a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, this is the closet, the chaotic closet that I'm not going to show you today, because it really, like, lately it has been like grabbing a cosplay and throwing it in there, like there's cosplay in bags. And I think that if I open the door, something will explode. So no closet today. And this is a dress form. This one I got when I moved here. I got it on Amazon. It's an adjustable dress form. I had one back in Portugal. However, I decided to sell it and get a new one, because I was afraid that with transporting and everything, something could go wrong. It was already a second-hand one that I got, so finally I bought a new one for the first time in my life. I got a brand new dress form, and I only have one this time. I no longer have two like I had back in Lisbon. Also here I've decided to use this bit of wall right here to have this styrofoam hat to style my wigs. I have here a little thing that I bought on Primark, and my cricket mats, along with a couple of rulers. I no longer have all of my quilting and pattern making rulers there, because I sold a few that I didn't need, and so right now I only have one there because the others are really big. Now this is my cutting table. This table I brought with me from Portugal because at the time we were not able to sell it. It is a kitchen table. It's a table where I used to have both of my sewing machine and the serger, and it is quite sturdy because it is a kitchen table, and I bought it on purpose in the kitchen part of IKEA. So this is where I usually do my patterns, because I still do them. I'm starting to do them digitally, but I still like to do the patterns by hand. It is quite relaxing. I know some of you might not believe me, but it is. I have here a little board where I sometimes have things pinned that I can't forget. I have my Cricut maker here, a couple of rulers as usual, like quilting ruler, patterning ruler, and I have two cutting mats right here. This cutting mat also came with me from Portugal. It's the one that I had in the last video that I've made there, and this one I got on Action. It's smaller. I wish it was bigger. It's made of fiberglass, I think, and it's perfect for when I have to glue things because it's so easy to clean. I just need to scrape the glue and it comes off like in 5 minutes. I really like this mat, and I wish I had like one of this size. However, I have no other space to store it. So basically this mat goes from here to the ironing board and back. Here behind me you guys can see a full body mirror that we added to this room so I could, try and cosplay, see how they looked. And here I have the Calyx unit. It's a 5x5 and it's what works best for me. Basically we have this sort of divided into topics or types of materials. Up here I have books like patterning books, cosplay books, sewing, you name it. Basically it's books. It's here. Here I have a few like drawing pads, papers like contracts, whatever, like bureaucracy. It's all stored in here, and my folders, everything is here. Here I have like a mini fridge. I've wanted this for ages. It's a mini fridge, I love it. And besides it I have like a part of the sewing machine, basically the normal arm of the sewing machine. I'm currently using the extendable table, and a few quilting rulers that I keep here basically because I rarely use this. Here I have my my steamer and my iron for the clothes. I just keep them here because I usually have this spot kind of empty, so it's like easier to put them here so they're not like all around the room all the time. In this bit right here I have some embroidery threads. I have like this huge box of Madeira threads for embroidering with the machine, and then it's basically art supplies, markers, pencils. It's my light table for like drawing and stuff. Basically I keep it here along with a couple of notepads that I use daily for work or on my bag or whatever. These three right here, I'm jumping to three right now, it's all Cricut except for this hat, which is my wig styling block that I'm now going to put here. These three modules right here, it's for the Cricut. Basically here I have a bunch of vinyls and different materials that I had, like stencils. This is to archive, this is like my samples, my guillotine, so all Cricut. Here I have like my Cricut pens and everything that is iron on vinyl, and here permanent vinyl basically, so I have everything organized. And in these two drawers, what I have basically here are some sewing machine things, like the covers and stuff, and also two heat presses that I have. These are not Cricut brand, these are off brand, but they work perfectly. So pro tip, you don't need to buy the Cricut ones, okay? These work perfectly. In this part right here, it's all basically tools. Dremels, hot hair, hot glue guns, For the boxes here, some have written fabric. Those obviously have fabric, but then there are other ones that have other materials for crafting. I have a box just with glues, so basically it's like divided, every box adds its own thing. And up here I have some more fabrics right now, some crafting supplies as well, some more like extra tools that we like to keep but don't use as much. My EVAs from Cosplay Shop, the foam clays, everything like that. And then some merch, my Beauty and the Beast merch, and some boxes that we just like to keep just in case we need to pack something, or I always keep the boxes. Tell me if I'm the only one that does this, but I also have here this little cart from IKEA that we got a few months ago. Basically here I usually have my tablet or some extra materials if I'm crafting or wig making or something. Basically this top shelf changes depending on what I'm doing. Then here I have the patterns of the projects I'm currently working, some weights, my little ironing hams, and some random crafting items, diamond painting and stuff like that. Basically extra materials. It's like random things here, but crafting related. I've told you guys about the Cricut. It's one of the new machines that we have here in this new atelier. But now I also have a brand new serger and a brand new sewing machine. The serger is the Bernina L460. I love it. Basically, I had to substitute both of my old Singer machines because they both died with a few months apart. First it was a sewing machine and then it was the serger. And I changed the sewing machine because it was no longer worth to repair it. So basically that's why I changed it. And for the sewing machine I got the Burnett B79, the Yaya Han edition. So this machine I got it uh, 2 years ago, so back in 2023. I got this one in 2023. This one I got in 2024. So they are pretty much new. This machine sews and embroideries as well. And they are here. This is the max space that they take. However, when I put this one to embroider, of course this has to leave, and this moves a little bit more to there. So I can basically have more space for the embroidery module so it doesn't hit anything, and I have no stress whatsoever. Here underneath this table you can see some boxes. Basically it's the sewing machine and the serger's box, and I always have there a basket for paper. I try to recycle as much as possible, so especially in this room. Here as the paper, here I usually have two for trash. Two for leftover fabrics and one for trash. So I have basically 4 trash cans in this room. And now we are going to see bit by bit how I have the drawers organized. So basically this first one is office supplies, also a little bit of patterning, so basically elastic, scotch tape, tailor's chalk. It's here because it's what I usually do here. If I do any office work, it's usually on this table. That's why I have like staplers, everything like here. Also band-aids just in case, because potato here. So office and chalk, like stuff for patterning right here. On this drawer I have more crafting materials, so basically my hot fix crystals, like highlights. The thing is to put the highlights, a little hammer, wax pencil, normal things for a crafter. Here I have my Cricut tools and my Cricut blades and some of these, clips and thingies, sewing notions, basically some more Cricut stuff, extra sewing machine needles, hand sewing needles, pins, extra measuring tapes, stuff like that. So it's here, it's all here. It's a mix. Here it's a mix of crafting. This is my packaging drawer, basically where I keep my packing tape, where I keep my envelopes for shipping stuff, my cosplay cards, my old crafting cards as well. I still have a few, but yeah, basically I keep all here, and stickers. Now this is like a miscellaneous drawer. I have a bunch of stress balls and cables, stuff from events, stickers that I'm not using so far. Basically a little bit of everything and nothing at the same time. On this side here in particular, you can see that I have a thread holder there, my magnet, my friend magnet here. They're always here because they're right besides my machine, so it makes perfect sense. So in this first drawer, as you can see, I have a bunch of pins. Here I have extra things, like new pins, new thingies, basically. Here I have the pins that I currently using, lighters for some threads or fabrics, seam reapers. This is all my scissors, basically. All the scissors that I'm using, like fabric. These are all fabric scissors, by the way. Let me know if you want a video in a little bit more detail about scissors, so that can be arranged. And my clips, my measuring tape, my rotary cutter, and the needles that I'm currently using for sewing. So here they are. This drawer right here, it's basically all sewing machine related. This is the boxes of needles that I'm currently using, the USB drive that I have to put the embroideries on the machine. Like, these are the extra presser feet that came with the machine, like curated by Yaya Han. These are the normal accessories of the machine, the hoops for embroidery and the ruffler. So all machine related. Here, as you can see, threads, it's pretty much self-explanatory. This is where I have the threads for my serger and for the sewing machine and for sewing by hand. Like, this is what I use to do basting stitches and stuff. This is my Gutermann and Madeira threads as well. I can also make a video detailing about thread. Let me know if that's something that interests you. Here it's all about embroidery. So it's where I have my stabilizers, black, white, water soluble, EVA for sewing and for embroidering, leftovers, because I always keep the little bits for the small hoop. Also have extra embroidery thread here, more embroidery thread from Madeira. These are for Mettler. So basically I have more things that don't fit in the other big box that I have. I keep them here. And this last one, it's a little bit of a miscellaneous but also sewing related. This is all elastics, and this is all bias tape, these old ribbons that I use for, you know, making stuff related, crafting stuff. Sorry. This right here you already know, it's my stream setting where I have there during summer months, which we currently are. I have here a small fan, my extra microphone, and you can see like Panta, light seeker, woohoo! My second camera, and yeah, basically this is the overview of the room, and haha. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little tour of the room. I promise the next one you guys will be able to be a little bit more part of the building process, you know, picking the furniture, assembling everything and packing all the material. Right now we are getting ready to start disassembling the room. That is why I wanted to record now, because in a few weeks this will start being where I will be packing, or where I'll be leaving also all the card boxes that are to be transported to our new home. So it's going to be a brand new adventure. I hope I can bring you guys here. Meanwhile, if you guys have any more questions, you know, you want to know a little bit about a specific material, or how I organize this and that, leave in the comment section below or contact me via social media. You have all the links down on the description box, and I hope to see you guys really, really soon. Bye!